are at the Specialty Chemicals Industry Conclave in Mumbai. We've been speaking to people across the spectrum in this particular sector. For now, I have with me someone who heads research on specialty chemicals and healthcare at PhillipCapital, Surya Patra with us. Surya, welcome to the show and thank you so much for joining us. At the outset, for someone outside your industry, it's rather tough to understand what is specialty chemicals, what are these fine chemicals. So do you want to get that out of the way and tell us what's the difference?
Yeah, rather there is no difference between commodity and specialty chemical. It is what the kind of customization or the specialization that you are doing to the product, which will ultimately suit to the need of the customer. That is specialty chemicals. So otherwise there is no specific differentiation between the commodity chemicals and specialty chemicals. It could be the same commodity itself,
right,
because you are customizing something which will fit to the need of the customer, and he will be a kind of a sticky partner for your business. So that makes the product specialty.
What
and
would,
that will
give us some examples of what you're saying.
So even if it is like for example, it is, let's say, any benzene derivative product. So benzene derivative or benzene based any product are commodity based products only. But if somebody is requiring some derivative of a benzene for their specific product requirement, and somebody is supplying that customized version of that derivative, then that is what would be called the specialty product. It will ultimately be a kind of specialty. Why? Because a relationship is already been established with a leading global player, and you are supplying the customized version. So that is why the relationship would be to some extent
sticky.
sticky.
Molecules that are necessary for that particular need.
Yes.
That would be like sunscreens and different.
And these products are see, while procuring one product also, a global player would not just consider anybody to
collaborate with.
Yeah, so that is why the validation process is normally like 1 year or so. So in that case, no, the customer, the relationship, what it is been getting added because of this supply arrangement. So that will offer you better long-term business relationship, visibility for the growth, and also better margin, even if it is the same benzene product. So that ultimately, okay, you may say that okay, commodity, but the earnings profile what the company would be, the supplier would be getting, which will obviously be better than the margin profile who would be selling in the spot market.
Right. Yeah.
So that is what is differentiates the commodity from specialty.
Having defined all these, chemicals and specialty chemicals in particular. Now, isn't this one of the oldest sectors really as far as the country is concerned, which means to say it also has its part to play in the country's GDP. But so vis-a-vis the China story, which has got 10 times more the share of the global market than an Indian market would in specialty chemicals. We hear that there is slowdown in the Chinese story, or at least because the regulations have gotten more stricter, more stringent, there are opportunities now for India. Now the question I want to ask you is, are we really ready to take up that opportunity? Is the Indian market, which is so fragmented, does the market have it in itself to really rise up to that challenge?
So first of all, the specialty chemical area, since it is a customized version of any product or any chemicals, so the scale is a kind of a big challenge. But China plays in scale. Wherever scale is there, they are there. Wherever there is a customization aspect is there, they are not there. So that is when the difference between India and China. Though India is like 1/10 of Chinese size or even smaller than Chinese size. So obviously any problem happening led by whichever fact, if China is seeing some sort of slowdown in their exports, so then in that case it would be a much bigger opportunity obviously for India. Why? Because let's say China will see a kind of we see that okay, China, we have already seen something like a 10% decline in terms of volume of various chemicals by China over last 1 year,
right,
because of the stricter norms and all that.
Okay.
So 10%, if this is quantitatively if we just evaluate, 10 times means it is a doubling opportunity for India, since India is 1/10 of Chinese size. So that is how the scope would be quite significant, and possibly it will last long for few more years. Why? Because the Chinese industry, the government policy measures has been becoming very stringent, and now they want to.
Yes, Surya, but then I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's exactly my question, saying that while China is all about scale and India's USP could be customization, which China is really not able to fulfill. Do you, as somebody who's heading research in your organization, see this happening actually? Do you see Indian players who are rising up to the challenge? What is the picture looking like?
Obviously, it is like somebody, if want to grab the opportunity from this Chinese slowdown, then he has to have some global name and fame. So, as you said, India is also, likewise China is very, very fragmented. So only selective few names can be considered as the larger companies. So at least I would not define what is large and what is small here, but at least I would say that those guys who have already got some name and fame in the international market, or some sort of association with the global MNCs as a supplier of some sort of a chemical, specialty chemical or any customized product, then obviously they can grab that opportunity. But again, one should not see that China has witnessed a 10% slowdown last year, so we should be exactly same entire business would have flown to us. That's not the case. Why? Because validation of a new product new product for any global name for supplying, so that also takes a similar 6 to 1 year kind of timeline. So, but once some supplier is getting added as a kind of a preferred supplier for any product to any global MNC name, then that becomes a kind of a sticky relationship get established, and gradually they progress from there on. Right. So then that is what gives a sense that possibly there are many Indian names who are progressing towards a global level, and now they are growing gradually, and they will possibly maintain the secular growth rally.
So let me sort of pin you down to this question. So when you're saying gradually, what kind of timeline are you looking at for India to actually get there to what it needs?
So like it is like, obviously we should not compare size wise India versus China, but we can multifold our size in next 5-year period. That is what I can say.
Great. That looks like seems like good news for what's considered really a hot stock. Even analysts have been predicting that for the sector, it's been witnessing a healthy growth. And if you're saying 5 years, then well, that seems good to hear. Thank you so much, Surya, for joining us on this conversation.
Thanks.